the reason I'm here specifically is because my partner, John Lynch, host Lynch, actually, not being fresh, I just want to show everybody this, was struck by a driver, I should say, on Washington Avenue. Washington Avenue, that particular spot, is a spot where people are really left with no other choice but to cross in a situation that we do know is dangerous. I mean, I think that's the thing that's the biggest problem about it. It's not like I'm saying anything that's really controversial here. Anyone who has stood there for a few minutes knows this is a really dangerous spot, and people are risking their lives. Vulnerable people are risking their lives all the time getting across over that. And in the 2 years or so, a little over 2 years now, since this has happened, not only have there not really been any issues addressed in that spot, but there's actually been an additional parking lot put in. So people like me also use the Day of Remembrance to not only remember the 46,000 Americans that were lost last year on our roadways. Sorry.
You got this.
Thank you. I'm sorry if I seem a little robotic, but this is what traffic violence really is. This is what it does to people, is that in order for me to stand here in front of everybody and try and stay rational and speak to you, I have to constantly keep myself in check. Because what I'm standing next to right here, stove pipe. There's also one for John. And there's also one for Devin, who was, I don't even think, 35 years old. And there's also one for Daryl Savage, who Tom and I, we met because he would come to our clinics. He would come to our clinics because he was so into bike stuff and neighborhood bike stuff, right? So this isn't like abstract. This is a very real thing. This is a very real thing. So the Day of Remembrance is also a day of action. It's a day of saying, you know what? We know that we can do better than this. We know other countries are doing way better than this. We know that traffic violence and the idea of Vision Zero and the idea that people shouldn't just accept that, you know, walking across the street might take your life. That in other places in the world, this is, you know, they laugh at us, honestly, seriously. I work with people all the time who come through the bike shop that I work in now, and they laugh. They don't, when I tell them that I'm renting them a bike and they have to run across Route 28 with it to get to a trail crossing, okay, they look at me like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. And that's people from Canada and that's people from Europe who just don't understand how we don't get that this doesn't have to happen, okay? Christine Tarasco didn't, she was a member of the Y, okay? She was a person who was an active member of our community, and she was seeking to do as least amount of harm as she could in this world by using her bike and not using her car. That was her choice. She shouldn't have had her life taken for it. Right. We can do better than this. Right. Yes. So I could go on for a long time about this. There's a lot of really good things happening right now. So a lot of really important things happening right now. And this is a time for people to really be involved and to pay attention and to be demanding that their leaders do what they can do now, which is fix this. This doesn't have to stay this way. Okay? They just have to do the work to fix it. The money is actually there. It'll be there for a little while. It won't be there forever. But if we do something now, it might last forever. Maybe we won't have to come back and place a ghost bike for anybody or a pair of shoes. So